ObaboJagga.
I'm Beets, this is ObaboJagga, and I'm really into Mario Maker. I love the Marios, they're fun and stuff. You jump and you're Mario. It's a gay old time, man. I love the Marios. And Super Mario Maker, it's pretty rad, y'all. I've been spending like all my life. It's gone. It's in that game now. It's gone and I can't get it back. But you know what? I really like enemies. I think the enemies are a big part of what makes me like Mario. So, I've composed a list of 14 enemies that would be cool to have in Super Mario Maker. Now, the goal of this list is to only include enemies that serve a specific role that you can't meet otherwise within the game's parameters already. For example, I didn't include Rex, a very popular Super Mario World dinosaur enemy, because really he's just a Goomba that takes 2 hits, and I can just stack 2 Goombas on top of each other, and it's basically the same thing. What objects and enemies would I add to Mario Maker have I been given the task to create one additional row? If you look at the Mario Maker screen, that is 12 objects and enemies total to the game. When making this list, I asked myself, what makes Mario games Mario? Is it the ground that you're walking off of? Is it the blocks that you hit with your head? Or is it the Goombas that you stomp with your big old clown shoes? Then, what's really important for Mario to be Mario? This is my, for fun, 14 list of 14 enemies that would be cool in Super Mario Maker. So, let's get started, it's fun. Number 1, it's the blue Koopa Troopa. So, why do I want the blue Koopa Troopa? Obviously because I just like color, that's it. Next one! Nah, I'm just kidding. Alright guys, so Super Mario World Blue Shell Koopas, when you hit them out of their shell, they would drop their shell, and then they would be like other Koopas in Super Mario World style, when they were out of their shells, when they found a stray shell, they would jump into it and become that color shell. While Blue Koopa's like, heck no. They have so much personality. That's what I love about Super Mario World, is that their enemies have so much personality. Instead of getting into the shells, they were like, hey, a shell? No! And they kick it away from you. So if you threw a shell at them, they'd like, that's not gonna work on me. They'd catch it and kick it at you. Shell Mario had the abilities of a Koopa. When you went into a full run, you ducked into your shell and started sliding around like a kid's Koopa shell. This was pretty rad. You could break blocks. You could also jump. So you could jump, shell, spin into blocks that were above you. It was rad. And when you just ducked normally, you would just hide in your Koopa shell, and enemies couldn't really hurt you. It was pretty great. It was like the Hammer Bros suit, but cooler. Let me start an anecdote. Once upon a time, my friend Chase was my best friend. I had grown up. What am I? I'm like, how many years old? Not that old. Like 2 years old. Right? I grew up with newer games, not older games. So when I met Chase, he's like, dude, new Super Mario Bros. I said, Mommy, can you buy me this? And then, yeah, she bought it for me. It was pretty cool. So, in New Super Mario Bros, there's this battle mode where you and your friends, you can collect stars and jump on each other's heads and such. That was a pretty fun time. Me and Chase played that, The blue Koopa Troopa only appeared in battle mode, by the way. You could find the shell in Toad houses during the game, but New Super Mario Bros. Did not use the blue shell. New Super Mario Bros. Is notorious for underutilizing its awesome toys that it had. So what we would do is we would ignore the objectives that they were presenting us, which was collect stars to win. So we would just collect 10 coins until one of us got the Mega Giant Big Ol' Mushroom. Because the Mega Giant Big Ol' Mushroom, when you get it, your character just gets Mega Giant Big, and it just destroys levels. The levels were so short in this battle mode that anyone with the Mega Mushroom could completely bulldoze the level to be completely flat, and we would give each other blue shells, and so we can both be Shell Mario / Shell Luigi. And what we would do is we would run, get a running start, and slide in our shell, and we'd play bumper cars with each other. So our shells would you can just keep going left forever, and eventually you'd hit them. So sometimes we'd jump over each other, or sometimes one of the best things was we would try to jump into each other at the same time, synchronize the jump so that we hit each other midair and bounced off. So that was pretty great. The blue shell was so much darn fun. Some of you may be thinking, what the heck? You just want Blue Koopa Troopa to have Shell Mario. You're right. Yep, you got me. This is gonna be the only power-up on my list, I swear. But the Blue Koopa Troopa was the best power-up. Super Mario Maker is the perfect testing ground to explore the blue shell. Water levels are pretty garbage. They're not fun. No one really likes them. Water levels, trash. But they don't have to be trash. Not at all. You know why? Because the Blue Koopa shell also comes with the additional ability of improved underwater mobility. That was pretty great. And I believe that Shell Mario could be easily translated into all 4 styles of the game. He already has a sprite for New Super Mario Bros. All you have to do is put a shell on Mario's sprite for the rest of the games. It's not that difficult. There's already shell sprites. Are you saying, well, they can make novel sprites. They made plenty of novel sprites. Even in New Super Mario Bros, they have a few unique models. Like Stretch, the little boo that he lives on the platforms. That wasn't in New Super Mario Bros. That enemy has only been in Super Mario Bros. 3, and they made a new unique sprite. All they did was make Boo and tweak him a little bit. All you gotta do is add a shell to Mario and color it blue. And to make a Blue Koopa Troopa, all you gotta do is change the shell color. It'd be pretty great. And then you might ask me, but Beets, what about Super Mario World? Blue shells were like, yeah man, Blue Koopas in that game is pretty rad. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to conflict that much. Come on guys, it's not that hard. That's why the Blue Koopa Troopa is my #1 pick on my 14 enemies list that would be rad and I would put in Super Mario. Number 20. Number 2, Yellow Koopa Troopa. This is pretty straightforward. This is continuous from the last point. You shake the Blue Koopa Troopa, because in Super Mario Maker, when you shake enemies and objects, you can toggle between different enemies and objects. For example, you would shake a red Koopa and make it a green Koopa. Well, I'm adding the blue Koopa, so now let's shake him and make him a yellow Koopa, yeah? The Yellow Koopa Troopa, when he got into his shell, he would turn all rainbowy, and he'd start to chase you in his shell, and he would run after you and jump after you, and it was really rad. Bowser Jr. does this in Super Mario Maker. However, Bowser Jr. has a spiky shell, so you can't use him to jump off or travel to unique places. In Super Mario World, the Yellow Koopa Troopa, you could ride this cool shell and be like, weehaw! And it's really unique and such. In addition, if you add wings to the Yellow Koopa Troopa, they would chase you around and have a unique I'm gonna get you ability. And it was pretty great. So, for the sake of having Koopas with personality again, I would vie for the Yellow Koopa Troopa to come into the game. Also, I like colors. That is really a point that I'm going to add here. Add some color to the game, y'all. It's a good idea. So, you know, there's not enough, like, beach-esque enemies. There's nothing I can really add to my levels to make it look like a beach, you know? So, here is number 3. What I'm going to add may be a little strange. Maybe not a lot of people are asking for it, but it's totally viable, and here's why. I'm gonna add the Spiny Cheep. It's a little purple guy, and in New Super Mario Bros. He would like chase you around when you were underwater. Why would I pick Spiny Cheep? Number 1, you can stack items and enemies on top of each other in this game, right? But not on Cheeps, no matter what. Above ground, underground, you can't stack anything on Cheeps. So if you want a Cheep that has spikes on his head, you can't. So I don't know, that'd be kinda neat. This would fulfill one role that is of present, absent from the game. Present, absent. That's kinda funny. What else would be cool? You know what? Think about it. Spiny Cheep, he drag a super mushroom onto him. When you drag super mushrooms onto enemies, they get big, y'all, right? Well, when you drag a super mushroom onto a Spiny Cheep, he'd grow into a Porcupuffer. If you remember the Porcupuffer, everyone remembers the Porcupuffer who played Super Mario World, or even New Super Mario Bros. Because the Porcupuffer is just a big ol' purple Spiny Cheep, right? Except he's really big, he's like a big pufferfish. And he's chasing you around the level the whole time, and he won't leave you alone. He's just like kind of an ominous presence. You know, like, Uah! He had such a sense of urgency. When you played a level with the Porcupuffer in, the whole level was more tense. Every like jump, you like, please make that jump. Every move was more calculated. Everything was more panicked and chaotic, and it just added a lot of personality. And I think that this would be a great enemy to add to the game. So that would be pretty cool. Plus, underwater they would chase you around, which is not something we have yet. Except for Goombas, but you can step on those guys. So let me talk about bosses. We have 2 bosses in the game already. We got Bowser, from, obviously, the first Super Mario Bros. And we got Bowser Jr. When you shake Bowser, he'll transform to Bowser Jr. He basically represents New Super Mario Bros. U. So we got 2 styles represented. We got the original style with Bowser, and then we got New Super Mario Bros. Style with Bowser Jr. But what about Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World? So, for number 4 and 5, I'm going to introduce 2 bosses, 1 for each style, to have around about 4 bosses total, 1 for each style. So, for a Super Mario Bros. 3 boss representative, there can be none other than Boom Boom. Boom Boom's great! He spun his arms around, he was like, ugh. He was funny, I liked him. Plus he's unique, there's not a single enemy like him. You can say that Bowser Jr. is like him, but really, Bowser Jr. is like all the Koopa Links. Nothing like Boom Boom. Boom Boom, honestly, is just an easier enemy that takes 3 hits. Easier than Bowser Jr. and more quick to defeat. And I think we should have easier enemies to defeat. I don't want to see a million Bowsers and a million Magic Koopas and Hammer Brothers in my stages. I'd rather see a million Boom Booms, because they're just cute and funny looking and I like them. A big plus toward enemies is whether or not they've appeared in New Super Mario Bros. Because it seems that anything that hasn't appeared in New Super Mario Bros. Prior to Super Mario Maker, they didn't really feel like making new 3D models for. Well, I understand that. So, you know, for most of this list, they're like recolors of Koopas and, you know, enemies that appeared in New Super Mario Bros. And Boom Boom. So Boom Boom, he appears in New Super Mario Bros. U. He's there. It's great. They don't need to make 2 new sprites for, new 3D models for that guy. He's great. Number 5, Reznor. Of course. Who else represents Super Mario World than 4 Triceratops on a Ferris wheel? Ah, yes. He appeared in New Super Mario Bros. On the coin one, and he was like cool, and I could beat him pretty easy. It was pretty great. And you know what I can beat really easy? That's like a Ferris wheel. Boo Buddies. Screw you. I don't want no Boo Buddies. I want Reznor, cause he's cute, and he spits fire at you. And I think it'd be cool. See, I'm at it. This is my list, right? So I can do whatever I want. So you can shake Reznor, and you can reduce it from 4 Triceratops to 2 for easier battles, because I like things that are easy. I'm a big proponent of things being doable for younger players. So, I want to be able to make Reznor a more manageable battle, which they did in New Super Mario Bros. 2. Reznor appeared in the early stages only 2, and then, you know, in the later stages, he appeared in 4s like normal. And that's great. Number 6, Spike. Spike is a classic enemy from Super Mario Bros. 3. He's a little Koopa guy, and he spied up spike balls from his stomach and threw them at the Mario Brothers. That was pretty rad. You know what else? It'd be pretty great if you could like drag mushrooms or like Goombas or Koopas in his mouth or something, and you could replace spike balls with mushrooms, Goombas, or Koopas. That'd be so great. That would be fun and unique. And I like enemies that are fun and unique. Spike, you know, honestly, he was made for slopes, right? The slopes aren't in Mario Maker. But really, I don't see the problem. Even if you just make stairs a la, you know, Super Mario Bros. Stairs or whatever. You can think of stairs. I mean, the spike ball could just roll down. I don't think it'd be that difficult. I'm not sure why he's absent. When I think of iconic enemies, you know, Spike's kind of one of them. I know his name, for example. I'm not a nerd. Spike also appeared as a playable character in Mario Party 10. What? Huh? And you know what else? Spike also has a 3D model of the new Super Mario Bros. U, so that's already a plus. It wouldn't take that much effort to add a sprite for Super Mario Bros. And for Super Mario World. Alright, y'all. Here's one that everyone loves. Everyone likes this enemy. I love this enemy. The Charging Chuck. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Everyone wants this enemy back. You know why? Because he is the iconic Super Mario World enemy. And to be quite honest, we don't have anything that just screams Super Mario World in the game. Obviously we have Super Mario World style. As far as enemies go, we don't get anything that's just Super Mario World. I mean, I guess we got Magic Koopas, but those are just like everywhere. You know what? Super Mario Bros. 3, we got stretches, right? I mentioned this earlier. Stretchers are boos. If you drag a boo onto a platform, now the boo is a stretch, and he's like kind of a unique platform disappearing boo enemy. They only appear in Super Mario Bros. 3, but they decided to make sprites and 3D models for the other 3 styles. So like, what the heck? Charging Chuck is like the iconic Koopa Troop representative from Super Mario World. He's cool, and you could shake him to toggle between he like throws baseballs for some reason, and he charges at you, and he's got all these weird, cool, and unique attack patterns, right? So why isn't he in? He appeared in Super Mario 3D World, so like, it wouldn't take that much work to flatten that 3D model for New Super Mario Bros., right? And you can just make him like act exactly like he did in Super Mario World. I don't see what the problem is here. Plus, they're funny! Look how funny these guys are. Look at them charging off. And you just like hit their head and it feels satisfactory. They shake their head and stuff and you just bounce off them. Charging Chuck's got when you jump off a Charging Chuck's helmet, it's just like tweaked to perfection. To where you cannot easily multi-jump on his head. I love it. They must have spent so many hours tweaking the jump trajectory off of the Charging Chuck's helmet. I really love that kind of friction. It's amazing. You jump on the Charging Chuck's helmet, and you'd bounce off just far enough away to be in danger zone and not on top of his head. It's brilliant. You know, Charging Chucks, you could just drag wings onto them, and then, you know how they have the clappy move? Well, if you had wings, you can make him clap. You can make him the clappy. The jump clappy. I think that makes sense. If you make him big, you can make him the one that like splits apart when you jump on him and stuff. You know, whatever. The Charging Chuck has got so much personality. He's an iconic Super Mario World enemy. He's got a 3D model. And he's pretty much tweaked to perfection to feel like a great enemy. And that is why he's on my list of enemies. So that was number 7. Number 7. Number 8. Now guys, it's probably not on many of y'all list. If any of y'all have made a list as dumb as mine. But this is just for fun. So I am going to add the Bomb Bomb. The cute memorable enemy with the terrible name. And it would be easy, wouldn't even take up spot. You shake the Bomb Bomb to change it into this cute piggy enemy that shoots cannonballs out of his nose. He's from Super Mario Land 2. When you went to the Mario Toy Box World place in Super Mario Land 2, you saw these like cute, unique, like all these clockwork toys and such. And this enemy, he's just a pig. He's basically a walking cannon. And when you think about it, why don't we have any mobile shooting enemies in the game? There's none. You can stack cannons and bullet bill cannons and such on top of enemies, but then those enemies become indestructible shooting moving platforms, unless you give them a fire or cape. And then you probably don't even plan for that very often. And if you do, you're making an awful level design. Just imagine an awful level where you stack millions of different heights of bullet bill cannons on top of Goombas, and you have to go one by one destroying the Goombas to make a perfect staircase. And if you mess up once, man, that's just like the worst. Thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach. Please don't make that level. And if you do, please do not send it my way. I won't play it, and I will not like you very much. Probably. Unless you want to buy me lunch or something. I like lunch. Food is good. He's cute! He shoots cannonballs out of his nose. Mobile shooting enemies, I think it's warranted. And he's a pretty simple enemy. He doesn't take much effort to add in any of the styles. I realize he's a unique sprite for every single style, but in my opinion, I'm going to add him because I like him. When I talk about enemies that just give a lot of personality or flavor to their environment, or really paint a story, the Bomb Bomb, God, this is the worst name ever. Change his name to Shoo. Change his name to, I'm trying to think of something interesting. The Durocker. Nice. The Durocker. Durock is a breed of pig, and I like that name. So why not make it a rocker? Or Duraka. Or Berkshire. Berkshire is another breed of pig. Oh, you know what? Just name him Scours. That's an ironic name. Scours is like this awful disease that hits pigs. Or it's a disease if you don't eat enough. Or it's a disease that gives you like terrible diarrhea if you're a pig. Scours, yeah. I would name him Scours because it's cute. So I'm gonna call him Scours from now on. Number 8 is Scours. When you look at this pig guy, you're just like, oh, he's a cute pig in a toy land. Oh, he's shooting cannonballs out of his nose. It's really great. It gives a playful flavor to your level. If you want to put projectiles in your level or projectile obstacles, you have to go with like fireballs or cannonballs or bullets. That doesn't give you a cute, like, playful flavor. I want enemies that fulfill a certain atmosphere. And if I just stick bullet bills all over my place, I'm giving it the atmosphere of like some guy's garage, or a battlefield, or a factory, or a sewage waste disposal plant. I want to make cute and happy levels, man. Mario's cute and happy. I want to fill it with pigs that shoot cannons out of their piggy nose. That's why I'm adding Scours to the list. He's in there. He doesn't even take a spot. You just gotta shake the bomb. You just shake him once, you shake him again. Whatever. This is not a problem for me. Just shake the bomb, make him Scours. Shake him twice, I mean. Whatever. Deal with it. It's great. It'll be a good time. Number 9. I don't know if anyone's ever thought about this. Probably has. Yumikoto Doki Doki Panic has lots of fans, and so I'm adding a Shy Guy to satisfy those fans. Please shut up now, you big rube. You rubes. I tell you like video games. Shy Guy is a great, iconic Mario enemy. Okay, y'all, I realize he has only appeared in Yumikoto Doki Doki Panic. But, think about it. He works perfectly in a quote-unquote regular Mario setting. When you think about it actually, Yumikoto Doki Doki Panic is just a Mario game, except with the gimmick of picking up objects, which you can do in later games anyway, including Super Mario Bros. 3, which is the later game. Yumikoja Doki Doki Panic, aka Super Mario Bros. 2, is just Mario, except without Italians, it's got Arabians. It's pretty brilliant actually. Instead of pipes, we got red vases. Instead of carnivorous plants, we have bullet-spitting cobras. Instead of mobile mushrooms, we have guys in white masks and red cloaks. It's pretty great. I like it. I like it a lot. I really like the aesthetic of Yumikoja Doki Doki Panic. The Shy Guy, when you jump on top of him in Yumikoja Doki Doki Panic, he's not defeated because that's not how the game plays. When you step on a Shy Guy, it's like a moving platform. Ah, there you go. Already a unique enemy. Add Shy Guy to Super Mario Maker, and when you jump on him, he is a moving platform. He will move in the direction, whatever. I mean, obviously there's moving platforms in the sky, but you have to put them on tracks and such. He's now we have an enemy that's totally iconic to the Mario series, and honestly, he should really be higher on the list. But I like blue shells. Haha. Dude, he's just simply an enemy immune to jumps. He's great. If it worked perfectly, I say do it. You could shake him to change him from red, which will just walk straight off a ledge, a la green Koopas. You shake him from red and turn him into blue, which will just turn around at the edge. There you go, I'm adding colors all over the place. I want colorful enemies. I'm adding some reds and some blues in. Having the Shy Guy would let players simulate so many different types of enemies, mostly from Doki Doki Panic. But that's great, because everyone, for example, likes the ninja. So, if you drag them darn wings on top of them darn Shy Guys, they would simulate a ninja by jumping up and down and doing the ninja jumpy pattern that the ninjas do. So there you go. And if you put them on tracks and you layer them on top of vines, you can simulate them ladybug enemies from Doki Doki Panic. And if you put them on top of Monty Moles, you can simulate the flurries from Doki Doki Panic, the guys on the icy levels. Those are cute. Drag him on top of Lakitu's cloud, bam! He simulates a Pidgeot. Like, take his magic flying carpet simulating cloud. It'd be awesome. It'd be rad. Dogs. Having the Shy Guy satisfies all these niches, and it'll make a lot of people happy, and you can make all these like recreations of your Doki Doki Panic levels, and you can like evolve the Doki Doki Panic game thing. It'd be great. Basically, if you just add the Shy Guy, bam, you've added Super Mario Bros. 2, because Shy Guy is what's important. Sure, they could add like Super Mario Bros. 2 someday maybe, who cares. It doesn't really need it in this game, but whatever. People like that stuff. They like it. They like it. I like it. I like them Shy Guys. They're cute. Moving on. Number 10. Almost done, guys. The Sniffit. The Sniffit's also from Yumikoja Doki Doki Panic. And if you haven't guessed it, I really like the enemies in this game. Sniffits are just Shy Guys, except they have gun masks. Bam! It'd be a Shy Guy, except he shoots you. Shooty enemies. We don't have enough shooty enemies. I mentioned this already. That's why I'm adding Scours. That's why I'm adding the Sniffit. I'm adding elements that are unique for Mario. And this would be a moving platform that shoots you. It's basically a cannon, except you don't have to add a Goomba or arbitrary enemy to the bottom, because he works as an enemy and a cannon all in one. And he's great. You just shake him for the colors again, red and blue, whatever. Same thing as Shy Guy, who cares? Number 11. Fanto. This is the last Yumikoja Doki Doki Panic enemy I'm going to be adding. Fanto is a pretty iconic enemy. He is a red and white mask. He's got a menacing grimace on his face. He's kind of scary. And he's also invincible. And whenever the Doki Doki gang held the key, or they grabbed the key that he was guarding, Phanto would chase after them. So these guys are way cool. They're like kind of scary, and they add a lot of personality. I mean, they add a lot of atmosphere. Just when you see a key and you see the Phanto surrounding it, you're like, you knew exactly what you're getting in for. If nothing was a surprise, it was all preconceived. Now you're thinking, but there's no locks and there's no keys in this game. Well, duh. Yeah, that's true. Well, in that case, when you shake the Phanto, it will turn into a lock and key with the Phanto. And then you can have Phantos surrounding it. You surround the key and you can move the key around and the Phantos will be there. And you can reposition the Phantos wherever you want. And when you grab that key, the Phantos will chase you. And when you get to the locked door, the Phantos will stop chasing you. Pretty simple, pretty great. It'll be a fun time. It wouldn't be that difficult because he's got one sprite. It's a mask. You animate the sprite by moving the mask around. It's simple. It'll be great. Alright. So, number 11 is Phanto, but it's actually the lock and key, which you would shake for the Phanto. Lock and key is pretty great too. Lock and key appeared in Super Mario World and obviously Super Mario Bros. 2. Those are my 3 Doki Doki Panic enemies that I think would fit best in the Mario world. Doki Doki Panic enemies would fit perfectly in the Mario world. And if you don't agree with me, you can go ravage someone else's... No, I'm not gonna say that. You can go sniff someone else's... No. Whatever. Drown. 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 And that brings us to the last 3 enemies. Number 12. The Boomerang Brother. He's cool. You shake the hammer, bro. He's a Boomerang, bro. Number 13. Fire Bro. Yeah. I like these enemies. They're cool. Okay, listen. If you want to know why the Boomerang Bro and the Fire Bro aren't in Super Mario Maker, I figured it out. When you look at the Hammer Brother and you drag a Super Mushroom onto him, he becomes a Sledge Bro. A Sledge Bro appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3 and New Super Mario Bros. U. But there's no such thing as giant Boomerang or Hammer Bros. And there's no such thing as Sledge Bro equivalents that throw boomerangs or fire. So I get it, okay? You don't want to create new enemies that spit fire or throw boomerangs. But you know what? Why not? Why not? Why not just make Sledge Bro that throws boomerangs and spits fire? Mario doesn't have enough fire-breathing enemies. I love the Fireball. The Fireball in Mario bounces at this wonderful, what is it? It's like maybe it's like a 48.9 degree angle. It's got this awesome bouncing trajectory that is completely unique to Mario Brothers. It's tweaked to perfection. I wonder how many man hours they put behind the Fireball bouncing trajectory. And there's not a single enemy that utilizes this except the Fire Brother, who also throws fireballs right back at you. And I'm kind of surprised he's not in here. And Boomerang Bro, honestly, he's just a Hammer Bro that's easier to defeat because boomerangs are much more predictable than the dumb hammers that will kill me every time. They're not dumb, I actually really love the Hammer Bros. If I didn't love the Hammer Bros, I wouldn't want these 2 in, to be honest. I think Hammer Bros are cool, but Hammer Bros are difficult to beat. They're much more unpredictable, and they're much more quick with their projectiles. Boomerangs are kind of slow, and you can see them coming, and you can see them come back. Boomerang Bros are an easier Hammer Bro, and I would use them a lot more than Hammer Bros. And I would encourage other people to use them more than Hammer Bros too. Or you know what? Here's an alternative, guys. I just thought of this right now. It's pretty funny. You got fire flowers, right? Why don't you just drag that over a Hammer Bro? Now he just like throws fireballs and stuff. Now he's a fire brother. But what about Boomerang Bros? Well, if you think about Boomerang Bros, their shells are blue, and I've added blue shells in this game. So you just like drag a blue shell, and there you go. You don't even need to worry about Sledge big old versions of the Boomerang and Fire Bro, because I just made it weird and unique. You're welcome. Stay in school. Boomerang Bro and the Fire Bro are number 12 and 13, respectively. So, who's number 14 on my list? The Sumo Brother. If you know what the Sumo Brother is, you're a pretty cool guy. Sumo Brother appeared in New Super Mario Bros. U, so that ain't a problem. So they only need to make Sumo Bros sprites for the other two games. Why isn't he in the game? Let's think about it. I don't know, he's pretty cool. Why isn't he in the game? I can't think of why he's not in the game. I guess they didn't want too many actual difficult Koopa Troop members in the game. So instead they gave us the ability to stack 3 Bowsers on top of each other and soup them up with big mushrooms. That was a great idea. The Sumo Bro, like, when you think about a Sumo Bro, what do you think? You're like, oh no, you gotta slow things down. When you see a Sumo Brother, you gotta like really pay attention. It's like a mid-level crisis. A mid-level crisis. The action kind of takes a break. You solve this, you defeat this one enemy because he's stomping, he's doing a sumo stance, and lightning falls down below you. Well, honestly, lightning's pretty unique. I kind of like that too, but that's not the point. Anyway, he's just got a small bit of tension, and I like small bits of tension. It's like, I'm the elite member of the Koopa Troop. You gotta get past me if you want to get by. Slam my foot down, lightning everywhere. It's pretty great. And you just think, how am I going to get past him, Sumo guy? So really, these last 3, I just like them. I like the brothers. I like the idea of the Koopa Troop having different tiers and ranks. And I think that the higher ranking members of the brother specialization team of the Koopa Troop would be fantastic to see. And that is why I would want the Boomerang Fire and Sumo Bros to be my numbers 12, 13, and finally 14 on my list. So that was it, guys. These are the 14 enemies I would add to Super Mario Maker. Here they are. With these 14 enemies, I feel like there are very few niches that have not yet been filled that cannot be accomplished with these 14 here. If you really think of any enemies that cannot be recreated, or whose function cannot be recreated in Super Mario Maker as of present, drop it down in the comments below. Let's hear them. I feel like I covered most of the hard ones. I don't feel like there's a niche that hasn't been covered with this list here. But if you disagree with me, please like and leave a comment below. You can dislike that too if you want. If you disagree with me, dislike this video real hard. Yeah! Do it, nerds. You're disliking a for fun list of enemies that I want in Mario Maker. Do it. Also subscribe because I like you guys. Pew. So thank you for watching, y'all. I hope you had fun, and I hope you want to ride with me again sometime. If you want more of this, let me know. Oh, if you notice, I didn't fill up the bar all the way. I got a little bit more. I got some more surprises coming for you. There's a sequel in the works. You know, just wait. It'll be cool. Watch the sequel. It's not about enemies this time. And there's a lot of logic going in this stuff. Whatever. So thank you for joining me, Beets, on ObaboJagga Network. ObaboJagga / podcast. Follow me on Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter. Yeah. Woo!
Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Is that like a cross between the purple thing from McDonald's and the Michelin Tyler man? They don't even talk! I wasn't the only one that was speaking. So wait, you're about to go into battle with this thing? Wow, I kind of feel like an asshole just walking up to someone, not saying anything, and then engaging in death battle to them.
So, okay, since we've got one pair already, we're gonna go for 7 pairs. Oh, we got 2 pairs. Okay. We are gonna go for 7 pairs this game. Look at that, we got 3 pairs already.
Okay. This looks really hard. Oh my gosh, it worked! Okay, we just cheesed this level so hard.